Good morning and welcome to episode 69 of the RetroBrown Solo Challenges in Johto. Nice. We are doing a Sentret only run with, well, in this generation. And considering I loved the Furret run, like I had a newfound respect for Furret, it's not going to be the same case for Sentret. And I didn't realise this before starting this video. Sentret is the base form evolution of the Sentret line. It's got a base stat total of 215, which is literally half, pretty much just half of Furret's base stat total. And this comes with a lot of problems. Biggest problem is the fact that we only have 20 base speed. Now I thought Sentret was a much faster Pokemon than that. Like 20 base speed is completely garbage. Whereas Furret, it has a base stat speed of 70 or 90. I think it's 90. Yeah, when it evolves, it gets like 70 points of speed put into it. And another big problem, we also don't learn the move Agility on level up. We get Amnesia, which is great at level 41, but we are going to be ridiculously slow for this entire run. So that means we're going to have to do quite a bit of grinding to make this even possible. With us being a mono normal type as well, that means we're going to have two ridiculously hard matchups in this entire run, which is not made even better by the fact that we don't actually get many speed. Our best base stat, of course, is our attack with 46, and that just makes me sad. That really makes me sad. Not one of our base stats goes over 50. So this is going to be a big problem. One saving grace that we do get, though, we do actually get the elemental punches, but that's accompanied by our special attack of 35. So yeah, whole of Johto against the Sentret. We are definitely the underdogs here. But we'll see how this goes. So we start off with two moves. We get Defense Curl and we get Tackle. Defense Curl is definitely going to help us out in the early game, but Tackle, I hate the move. It is god-awful. 35 power, 95% accuracy, and we don't even beat the Cyndaquil at the start. That's 2 videos in a row now. Yeah, the Coffin video, we did not beat the rival in the very first fight. So, yeah. Our rival for today is going to be Nike Simmons. Thank you for subscribing and all your comments on recent videos. Really appreciate it. And unfortunately, there's not a big character limit, so we can't actually put your full name in. But it is Nike Simmons. Thank you for subscribing and commenting. Really appreciate it. So the very first gym lead, of course, is Falkner, and we've got to think about how we go about this. So we're definitely not going to be able to do this at the level cap. We're really struggling against even bug Pokemon at this point. So what can we do? Well, we can go and get some levels up in Sprout Tower. Sagely here has got loads of level 7 Pokemon, and Bellsprouts can't do all too much against us. Our special defense is thankfully one of our highest stats at 45, but that's still not great. We have picked up Quick Attack at level 11, so we've got another move to work with, and one that's actually a little bit more powerful and more accurate than Tackle, so I'm definitely using Quick Attack over Tackle. Either way, let's see how we do against Falkner. Zephyr Badge is on the line, and we want it. We've gone into this level 13, have to go against every single trainer that we possibly can do up to this point. And, you know, it's actually not too bad of a fight. Because we're over leveled, because Quick Attack can attack first, we get enough hits in to take down both his Pokemon comfortably. Don't have to worry too much about this, but Falkner is pretty trash. That brings us on to Union Cave, and of course, we have the Rock types to contend with, and the only move that we can really use against him is going to be Mud Slap, which we picked up from Falkner. It doesn't do all too much against the likes of Onix, but it is definitely a move that can get us through these fights. But we do have to go back to the Pokemon Center and recover our PP, because we used about 5 or 6 of them on that Onix alone, and there's a Geodude trainer straight afterwards. After that, it brings us to the Slowpoke well, and we've picked up the move Fury Swipes to level 17. Now, it's not a great move in all hindsight, but at least it can deal out decent damage. Yeah, we still haven't got too much to work with. But once we've beaten him, we can go against either the gym leader or we can go against the rival. I'm going to opt for the rival first, just for the fact we still have Mud Slap, and that can actually hit the Ghastly. Now what we're actually going to do is set up defense curls as much as we can. This Ghastly actually can't hit normal type Pokemon with any of its moves, so the best it can do is use Spite on us. And put us to sleep, of course. We use defense curl as much as we can while losing as much PP as possible, and then we go for Mud Slaps. Reason why we want our defense curls up is pretty much for the next 2 Pokemon coming out. We want to use Quick Attack on the Zubat, take it down quickly, but we do take over half damage thanks to confusion damage. After that, Quilava, yeah, we need more HP to make this work. So let's give Bugsy a try, see how we do. Now we can't actually stall out his Pokemon with the likes of using like Bite, Scary Face, anything like that. But what we can do is set up Defense Curl on his first couple of Pokemon. That way we don't take much damage over the course of the battle, and we can use Fury Swipes to try and take as much damage off as possible. In that Fury Swipes as well, we got 2 critical hits, which really helped out. And thankfully, the Kakuna just goes for 1 Poison Sting and 2 we got Poison, that's not great. Okay, we need to take down the Cypher as soon as possible, and that's what Quick Attack's there to do. So we can try and get as much HP taken down from Fury Swipes as possible. And there we go, that's Bugsy beaten first time with a level 19 going into level 20 Sentret. Thankfully we also get the move Fury Cutter from this fight, but it's not really going to help us out too much against the rival. Bug is resisted by Fire types, resisted against Poison types, so yeah, we're not going to do all too well with this move accumulating damage. Even if we did try and set it up, it's probably better just to use Quick Attack. Once we've set up all of our defense curls, we get much better luck this time and manage to get all 6 set up. And from here, we can just Mud Slap this Ghastly into the ground. I do try the Fury Core just to see whether it works, but because we get put to sleep, it actually breaks that chain that we were doing there. So it's best just to go for Mud Slap here, otherwise the fight will just take ages like you're seeing right now. Because we were asleep for about 7 turns there. And while we're at level 20 as well, we've got much more HP to work with, and Mud Slap can quickly take down the Quilava. Like Simmons, very tough fight there. That brings us into Goldenrod, where we can go and give our Sentret a haircut, because if we can get return early on, that will definitely help us out. But unfortunately our Sentret doesn't like us, and we can't get return yet. So we're going to go for the Elemental Punches. If we got return earlier, we definitely would have had a much easier time going into Whitney's gym. Either way, we are going to go against all the trainers here and get as much experience as possible, because Whitney is tough. So, Whitney sends out a Clefable first, and we're just going to go for Fury Cutters. Yes, we're actually still going to use Fury Cutter here. A 5th turn Fury Cutter should one-shot the Miltank, and if not, we can take it out with whatever move we got left. But thankfully, here it does. This is why Fury Cutter and accumulation moves in fights like this are honestly amazing. I'm really happy that we get them. After Goldenrod, we can progress onto Ecruteak, but before Ecruteak, I am going to nip into National Park quickly, pick up Dig, and then we'll go and smash Psychic Greg's face in. We have picked up the move Headbutt, and that is a one-shot in his Drowsy. Good. Bye-bye, Psychic Greg. I hate you. Anyway, we can also pick up TM for Surf, because we technically can learn it, which is weird, but we're going to go take on the next gym. It is a bit of a saving grace for Sentret that it does get quite a wide moveset, but annoyingly we do get cursed right away in this fight. And as long as we can't get put to sleep, we might be able to stall it out with the amount of damage that it does. But unless Dig is a one-shot, it's not a one-shot on Gengar. This fight's a bust. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know what else we can do differently here. Okay, so Sentret again, we've gone to level 30 here. We're going to go with Rollout this time instead. Yes, we can learn Rollout, and it is not resisted by the Poison type. That way we can one-shot the second, like the Haunter, we can one-shot the Gengar, and one-shot the final Haunter here. So that's how you get through this fight incredibly easily, but it's not guaranteed in case you get put to sleep or you get cursed and then put to sleep. Bring that over to Olivine City, we can pick up Strength, we can start off the Secret Potion side quest, and then head on to Cianwood, which is going to be a nightmare for us here. And yeah, this time I definitely remembered to pick up the Secret Potion, I did not forget it and go back to Olivine. Let's see how we do here, because the big challenge is now these 2 Dojo brothers. So, can we even tank 1 hit? No, we can't. Okay, it's time to train up. we went up to level 39, and even at level 39, we can only just tank one hit. Maybe need another level or two here. And we definitely need to be going for headbutt instead of rollout. So this time around at level 40, the Hitmonlee misses its attack, meaning we can headbutt it for a one-shot. That brings out Black Belt Lao, and Hitmonchan is nowhere near as big of a threat as Hitmonlee. So we can finally get through his gym and take on probably the hardest gym leader that we're going to have to go against in this entire run, Chuck. Chuck has got two powerful Pokemon. Primeape, who can deal out big damage but gets taken down by one headbutt. We can get rid of Defense Curl for Amnesia because we will need this for the late game. And then we get one shot by Dynamic Punch. As a second video in a row here, Dynamic Punch hits every time. Second attempt, we get down to 3 HP. We've got up 2 more levels to try and make this possible. And yeah, it came down to look whether Dynamic Punch hits or not. We managed to beat him at 3 HP and take the Dynamic Punch TM. We don't want it though because I hate the move so much. And then we head back to Olivine and we can kick off the next gym challenge going against Jasmine. This should be quite an easy fight because we do get the elemental punches, and we'll just see how easy a fight this is going to be now. Let's heal up and give Jasmine a good go. We are a very slow Pokemon, but we are honestly not as slow as a Magnemite at this level. So we Fire Punch for 1, Fire Punch for 2, and that brings out the Steelix. Now if we get hit by an Ninetale, that could be a one-shot. We managed to do half damage, and a burn makes the difference. We take it down with 2 Fire Punches, and again, for the second video in a row, Jasmine's probably been one of the easiest gym leaders to go against. Once you've got the elemental punches, she is an absolute cakewalk. This brings us over to Mahogany Town, and we see this guy Hyper Beam someone into a wall. We follow him in, and we get attacked by a load of rockets. That means we need to take them on, and take them down with our little raccoon. Is it a raccoon? I'm not 100% sure. Flying Squirrel. I'm not 100% sure what Sentret's actually based on, actually. I would say raccoon. Anyway, that's moot point at the moment anyway. We beat the rockets no problem, and we head into the gym for Price. This should be an easy fight as well. Glacier Badge is on the line, and I should have went into this fight with Thunder Punch. Not to worry too much though, because Headbutt is still a very good move for us. Dewgong puts itself to sleep, and that's perfect. We need 2 hits to take it down. Last up is Piloswine, and we go for the Fire Punch. It's going to deal just over half damage, and 2 take it down. He throws the fight with a mist. We are level 46 though. We are very high leveled for this point in the game, especially to take on Price, but again, we have the Rocket side quest to contend with. We go back to Goldenrod and see if our Sentret likes us enough, and finally it does, so we can actually learn the move Return. Thank God it likes me enough now. So, the rival on the Underground. This can go one of 2 ways. His Golbat lead is annoying, and we go down to very low HP before even seeing the second Pokemon. Managed to take down the Magnemite first time, and then Hortner comes out and uses Curse. And I went for Dig. So we take ourselves out. This is where we need to change up the moveset. We go for Return now. Headbutt has outlived its usefulness. And from here, we go into the Haunter with much more HP to work with. We've got rid of Dig, and we're going fully on the elemental punches here. We are keeping Amnesia though, because we will need it for the late game. And wow, that Sneasel did a lot more damage than I thought it should. That brings out the Quilava, and it's got weak defenses, so 1 Flame Rail we can just about tank, and then take it down with Return. That's the rival done in the Underground, and that progresses us to the top of the radio tower, where we got another, could be a tough fight in some circumstances, but not for us really. At this level we can outspeed, and we can one-shot with Return. If you're doing a Gen 2 run without the move Return, you are really limiting yourself to the power of some of these Pokemon. The power of friendship. Yeah. Who'd have thought the power of friendship is the best move in Gen 2? Anyway, that brings us to the 8th gym and our next challenge. Claire is quite a difficult fight in some circumstances, but when you've got Return up at full max hit friendship, she's not too much of a problem. The biggest problem for us right now is the fact we don't outspeed. So there's a chance we can get paralysed, we can take damage, When the Kingdra comes out, it will either go for Dragon Breath or it will go for Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is the one we don't want to see because that will one-shot us at this range, especially with a crit. Wow. 14 levels above and we still can't beat that Kingdra. We try this again though, and this time we get a little bit better luck. We managed to take out the first 2 Dragonairs after taking some slam damage. The third Dragonair comes out and misses its slam, so we're on around about the same as the previous attempt. This time round, Kingdra goes for Hyper Beam first, and on the recharge turn they can't use potions, meaning we can take the win. So second time win for Sentret against the 8th gym leader, and there we go, we can progress on to the Pokemon League. This isn't going as bad as I thought, but to be fair, considering we're so slow, we are taking a lot more turns in fights, and that does rack up on the end time. Our final fight against Nike Simmons here, we're going to go for the Fire Punch on Sneasel. It is just about a one-shot, but the burn means we don't get the one-shot. Wing attack on Golbat is dealing out around about what damage I would expect, about 26 damage. We level up to level 58 here. It's actually quite a low level for what I've thought I'd be at this point in the game, but then the Magneton comes out and now it outspeeds. So we need to try that again. This time we're just going to go straight for returns. Returns just does tons of damage and I'm sleeping on it if we don't get it. Magneton comes out and this time Fire Punch hits first. Nike Simmons then brings out his Haunter and we have to go for either Fire Punch or for Thunder Punch. We have been cursed though, which is a bad point to be on, but with the remaining Pokemon being quite defensively weak, return should be one-shots on both of them. Even Typhlosion, level 38, cannot stand up to this little raccoon 20 levels above it. Yeah, 20 levels above, I'm kind of overkilling it there, but yeah. We beat the rival, and thank you for being a subscriber for how long you've been now. Yeah, big challenges in this one. Anyway, after getting all of our items, we can progress on to the league with the very first challenge, which is going to be Will the Psychic type trainer. How do we do here? Will's got quite a varied team. He's got Psychic Flying, Psychic Grass, Psychic Ice, Psychic Water. He's got quite a good variation in his typing. Annoyingly, we do get put to sleep by the Jinx's lovely kiss. Bit of a nightmare scenario for some people. And we take a lot of psychic damage to get taken down. So we need to be a bit faster, and we decide to do a bit of training, go up to level 66. We still can't outspeed many things, but it means that our returns do a lot more damage now. Even with Executor, oh yes, we do take it out in one. Slowbro is tankier, and we don't take it out in one. It goes for Curse, which is pointless because we outspeed it that time round. And then we take big damage from Psychic on the Xatu. But we do get the win at half HP and progress on to Koga. Koga probably will be the easiest member of the Elite Four to take on. We've got Fire Punch take down majority of his Pokemon super effectively, even with our low special attack. We do get poisoned from the Venomoth, and that might be the difference because it was badly poisoned. Fortress decides to be cheesy and protects, meaning we take poison damage and it accumulates more. Return doesn't it does one-shot the Muck. Oh, can we one-shot the Crobat? That would be perfect. How do we one-shot a Muck but not one-shot a Crobat? That's insane. And the poison damage keeps going up and up and we miss a return, meaning the poison damage was the difference there. I'm really annoyed at that one, but that's Koga in a nutshell. He is just cheesy. This time around, we aren't pulling our punches. We're going straight for the returns. Hopefully we don't get poisoned. And next the Fortress comes out. Doesn't go for Protect this time because we're not poisoned, so we take it out in one. Muck is out next, and we know from last time that return was a one-shot. But the Crobat comes out now and sets up double team. Of course it sets up double team. We still can't take it out in one shot. And the second return, we can get the win. Level 67, we've beaten Koga and we progress on to... I'm scared for this guy now. Yeah, how many YouTubers out there have actually said that they're scared of Bruno? Well, when you're in with a base form normal type who's not very fast, yeah, he's a scary trainer to go against. I do not like going against Bruno with this Pokemon. We take so much damage, we do not outspeed, and return is not even a one-shot on Machamp. So we're going to need more levels here. Let's try that again. We're up to level 73. This is the first time that we outsped a lot of his Pokemon. Still not Hitmonlee though, and his double kick just does tons of damage, but with those amount of levels we've just added on, we should have enough to one-shot the Machamp. After that, Ice Punch should take out the Onix, if I'd remembered to choose that move. So Fire Punch only does half damage and Earthquake takes us down. Bad planning on my part. So, when we actually put the right move on our Pokemon, we should do alright here, because the battle pretty much goes the exact same way. We get through the Hitmonlee, the Hitmonchan with just one shot of Return, and we're down at around about 17 HP. We know Return will one-shot the Machamp at this range. And that brings us into the Onix, who will now be one-shot by Ice Punch. Yeah, I really should have planned in the previous attempt, but what can you do now? Karen's up next, and again we're against another Gengar. We can't one-shot the Umbreon, and we get Sand Attack, which is bad. We like accuracy, we don't want it to be reduced. We one-shot the Vileplume pretty comfortably, and then comes Gengar. Now, I don't have any super effective moves, so we're going to have to rely on our elemental punches, and they don't even one-shot it from half time. And then they use Destiny Bond and just completely trash on us. So Sentret goes down. So, this time around, we're not playing. We go into this, we just one-shot everything that comes in our way. Gengar comes out, of course it goes for Curse, but we get better luck this time with Ice Punch, and we've got to the Murkrow without taking any damage from Curse. Ice Punch is a one-shot on it, and that just leaves the Houndoom, who's quite defensively weak. Flamethrower does decent damage, but one return seals us the win. And we're on to the champion at level 73. Now I'm scared for this one because we don't have much HP to work with, we don't have speed to work with, so how are we going to do this against Lance? Well, let's get started. Gyarados, of course, is 4 times weak to electric type attacks, so we Thunder Punch it into the ground. Annoyingly, we did take a lot of damage there, and we don't have a way to recover our HP yet. I could go and teach Rest because you can get it in Johto, but we also get Paralysed as well, and you know what, Rest might be the move that changes this run. So, with Aerodactyl coming out and Hyper Beaming us into the face, we switch up our moves. We go for Return, Amnesia, Rest, and Ice Punch. Fantastic moveset to work with, and Return can one-shot the Gyarados. We set up Amnesias against the Dragonite just so we can deal a little bit more. Well, no, we can tank more if they decide to use the likes of Blizzard. We get Paralysed by the second one, so we need to rest up against the Aerodactyl. Hyper Beam puts us on 50 HP, and that's actually good because we know what sort of range we've got to work with. Rock Slide does around about as much as Hyper Beam was doing, and thankfully there was no stats boost on Ancient Power there. Hyper Beam on the Charizard, again, is doing around about 50 damage because we are so high level by now that most attacks aren't really doing too much. Return is a one-shot, and that brings in the final Dragonite where we can go for Ice Punch for an easy win. Level 78 though, that's very high, but this is a bad Pokemon. It's a slow Pokemon, so I'm not too confused by the time. So yeah, level 78 and 7 hours and 22 minutes. It's a low tier in run. Furret on the other hand was fantastic, but Sentret with having so bad low base speed, I'm not surprised it's done this badly. Let's see how we do in Kanto against Blue, the former champion. So Blue is out with his Pidgeot first, and we're going to set up our Amnesias before anything else happens. With this moveset, Sentret becomes an absolute beast. We can rest back up to full HP, Alakazam's Psychics do barely anything against us, and Returns just deal out massive damage. Ice Punch takes out the Rhydon, and Return takes out the Gyarados in 2. After, of course, a crit. We return on the Executor and get Leech Seeded, and that might be a problem because we've got still one more Pokemon to go. Unless we can one-shot with Return, oh, Extreme Speed takes us down. Okay, we need to make sure we don't get Leech Seeded. If we hadn't been Leech Seeded, that would have been an easy win. But it's why I love the move anyway. Leech Seed is a great move. We pretty much use the exact same strategy going into this one. We make sure we don't get hit by critical hits because they supersede any stat boosted damage. Any stat boosts, and we get back through to the Rhydon, pretty much a hit, full HP. We return the Gyarados, but Reflect was still up, so it still took 2 hits. We do get Leech Seeded again, which is very annoying, but we're on more HP going into the Arcanine this time round. We get a critical hit and a win. And that takes us on to the final fight for this little raccoon, Red. Red is annoying, but I'm actually going to show you that this is pretty much a first time win here. Curse Amnesia strats are broken in this, and without these strats I don't think many of these Pokemon could actually be able to complete the game. Once you set up Amnesias, which mitigate the amount of damage that Pikachu can do, you set up your curses so your returns will deal out ridiculous damage. You then use Rest to put yourself all the way back up to full HP, and you've got full attack, full defense, and full special defense to work with. So right now, you are literally a brick wall to all of these Pokemon. You use Curse whenever he uses Charm on you, and you rest back up to full HP. We got rid of all of the Thunderbolt PP and the Thunder PP here before we started using Return. And you can see how little damage they are doing to us. We've got the best defense in the region right now, and it doesn't matter whether Espeon sets up Reflect or not, it's a one-shot after 6 curses. Even against the Snorlax, can we one-shot it? No, we can't, because our attacks is pretty dire. We do get paralysed by Body Slam, so we need to rest up here. Annoyingly, he does go for Sunny Day, and we need to make sure Soul Beam doesn't do all too much. He's doing about 30 damage after all of the Amnesias, and that's something we can work with, really. When we wake up, we use Return, one-shot it down, and next comes the Charizard. Now, the Sunlight is still up, and Flamethrower does 45 damage. Thank God for Amnesia. We've gone into the Blastoise with 45 HP. Can we rest up here? We can on 20 HP, because the sun was still up. Surf just barely did any damage. The rain goes up, and Surf starts doing more damage, but once we wake up, 1 return is all we need, and there is a first time win against Red with a Sentret. That is a genuine first time win, I promise you. We finished the game on level 84 with Return, Amnesia, Cursed and Rest with terrible stats, but we finished this at 8 hours 53 minutes. So it's not the worst Pokemon, but my god, this is a hard run to do. I think either I need something easier or we just need to keep rolling with the pain train here. So what comes up on the wheel next for next week? Let's spin that. First up is Cyndaquil. I don't want to do another start Pokemon yet. What's second up? Second is Crobat. Oh, that's a great choice. We haven't done that one yet. And unless this one is awful, it's just going to make me laugh, we're going to be going with Crobat. God's sake. The worst Pokemon in all of Pokemon. Yeah, we're going to do a solo run with it. Oh man, that... You got to this point. Like and subscribe for my pain. And we will see you next week, you legends, for the Sunkern run. Take care.